This offseason right here for the Portland Trailblazers is going to be one of the most pivotal in recent memory for them. They have to make their decision. Are they going to stick it out one more year with Damian Lillard, who has given so much time and effort to this franchise, or are they going to move on? Are they going to bring in the new wave with Shaden Sharpe, Anthony Simons, and guys like that? They also have two new wings to go with Simons and Sharpe in Cam Reddish and Matisse Thybulle. So today we're going to be looking at exactly what I think the Portland Trailblazers should do. So make sure you hit the like button and leave me a comment down below, as it really helps us out in the YouTube algorithm. Now let's go ahead and get started looking at the offseason preview here for the Blazers. Now, their guide for the offseason, they have, of course, the number 3 pick in the draft. They got a little lucky there. They also have a later first-round pick at number 23, and then they have a second-round pick at number 43. They have $22 million in cap space, but Jeremy Grant, Cam Reddish, and Matisse Thybulle are all free agents, so they're really not going to have any cap room. Maybe they can try to move a bad contract and free up some cap space, but I'm not too sure. I don't think they have one, honestly. So they're going to have to do some developing, and they're going to have to make a couple of moves at number 3. Now, do they trade Dame? I don't think so. I think you give it one more year. The NBA giving you the number 3 overall pick in the draft, that's huge because that increases the trade value of that pick so much more. Or you could just sit there and take like a Brandon Miller. The roster is obviously not ready to compete yet for a championship, and Dame Lillard is not getting any younger. He's 33 years old. He will be making $45 million next year, which is just absurd. That's like a third of their entire cap space. He averaged 32 a game last year, 7.3 assists, 4.8 rebounds. So he is a dude. He's a dog. Don't get me wrong. He is still a bucket. But getting up there in age a little bit and making an absurd amount of money. 46% from the field, 37% from 3, 1 steal. It's honestly been a shame that the Blazers have never been able to win a single game out of the second round of the playoffs with Dame Lillard on the squad. Now, what should they do with that number 3 overall pick? Are they going to select one of Brandon Miller or Scoot Henderson? Honestly, I think it's going to be Brandon Miller if they do sit and select the prospect. They already have Simons, Sharpe, and Dame Lillard, unless you want to take Scoot and rebuild, but I think my Hornets are going to pick Scoot. Now, if the Hornets take Scoot, they get Brandon Miller. He fits in at the 3 right away. You don't have to bring Cam Reddish back. You just bring Matisse Thybulle back for his defense, and then you're rocking and rolling. Brandon Miller, instant impact. I think he will be a good player from day one, but like I said, I think the Hornets are taking Scoot at 2, so it's either going to be Brandon Miller at 3 or you trade. I think the Bulls would definitely do number 3 for DeRozan straight up. They need to hit a little bit of a reset button. They do need to get their pick, and I think it's in 2 years. It's in San Antonio, or you could try and go after OG Anunoby, but I don't think the Raptors will do that. You'd probably have to attach a guy like Anthony Simons to that because OG is still yet to hit his prime. But I mean, whatever you got to do to bring some more talent alongside Damian Lillard, either one of those guys would be a monumental upgrade to this roster. Now, at number 23, I want you to take either a backup center or a power forward. In the Blazers rebuild that I just did on 2K, we took G.G. Jackson, and he actually developed very well. So if this video is a couple of days old, make sure to go check out the channel because we did just drop a Blazers rebuild. Now, G.G., he's a very intriguing prospect. I have not scouted down yet into the early 20s of the draft, but I did see him play this year at South Carolina. He's a very, very intriguing prospect. Derek Lively out of Duke is a dude that a lot of teams in the NBA could use. A guy that can really, he just patrols the paint. Okay, he commands, or he's in control of the paint, I should say. Elite rim protector and just swallows up any rebound that comes off the glass. And then at 43, maybe one of these guys is there. That would be your best option if either one of these guys are on the board there. But, in all likelihood, they will not be, so you will need to go get like just another wing, that can contribute from day one because obviously you're trying to build around Dame right now. Now, free agency, what you need to do with Jeremy Grant. This is a big decision because 4 years, $112 million would be the contract that you offer him. Is he worth that? I mean, that is all of your cap space this season. I don't know. Now, he did average 21 a game, 4.5 rebounds, 2.4 assists. So he definitely was a good player for them this year. It just feels like he's not worth that much money. What is that, like $27 million a year? That's quick math, so it might be a little wrong. 48% from the field, 40% from three. I mean, he's very solid. Don't get me wrong, but he was putting up stats on a Blazers team that did not even make the play-in. However, I think you got to bring him back because you're trying to build around Dame and make that championship run. Now, according to 2K, you have bird rights on both of these guys. I'm not sure. Actually, no. You can extend the qualifying offer to both of these guys. So Cam Reddish, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. You're going to have to make a decision. I don't think you can bring both of them back unless you pick at 3. If you don't pick at 3, then you probably can't bring either of them back unless it's like Thibault on a low contract. If I had to pick one, I'd probably bring back Thibault just because of his defense, and you're trading for a star wing if you do move that number 3 overall pick, and if not, you're probably still taking a wing either way, like we said. Unless things get crazy, they take Scoot and trade Dame. That'd be the only way that you bring both of those guys back. Now, a guy that I am very high on, Shaden Sharpe. 10 points per game, 3.2 rebounds, 1 assist. Really did not play college basketball at all. Just kind of came out of high school last year and put up these numbers in 22 minutes per game on an NBA team, which is insane. He was my number 3 prospect, only behind Jabari Smith Jr. and Paulo Banchero last year. 16 points a game, 5 rebounds, 2 assists for Sharpe. The dude is a monster. I mean, have you seen the athleticism on this man? He is crazy. And he can also knock down jumpers, which is, 36% from 3 as a rookie. That is very, very good. Here's my potential lineup for them next year. It's going to have to be Dame, Simons, and then if they can make a move, we're just going to go with the safe route here and say they select at 3. If they can make a move and get an OG or DeMar DeRozan, then they will obviously start at the 3. But right now we're going to go with Brandon Miller. So you got 1, 2, 3, and then you got Jeremy Grant, who you're re-signing, and you still have Nurkic at the 5. If you decide to trade, go to the trade option. I mean, I wouldn't hate it, but you are kind of jeopardizing your future. I mean, is Dame Lillard, DeMar DeRozan, Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant, Jusuf Nurkic, is that a championship caliber starting 5? Probably not. Especially with DeMar and Dame aging. We'll see, though. The bench is not that good. They got Imoni Bates. They'll have Shaden Sharpe, Drew Eubanks, and Matisse Thybulle. So those will be 3 good bench players, 3 good rotation players. Sharpe can be that really, really good scorer for them off the bench. And then Matisse Thybulle, elite defense. Maybe he starts the 3 if they trade for like a DeRozan, and then Grant comes off the bench. I don't know. It could get weird, but that would be my projection for the bench. Of course, you got Imoni, who you're trying to get at 43, and then Gigi Jackson, who you're trying to get at 23. So maybe Gigi's not ready for the league yet. Maybe you send him to the G League a little bit. We shall see, though. They also have a couple of other reserves that you do need to talk about. Starting with Nasir Little, who could easily be coming off the bench for you. Same thing with Keon Johnson and Trendon Watford. All 3 of these guys could easily be plugged in. So Trendon Watford would probably be plugged in at the 4. You don't really have a backup point guard, but you have Anthony Simons and Dame, so I guess just make sure that one of those guys is in the game at all time. And yeah, that's my perfect mock offseason for the Portland Trailblazers. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Hit the like button, leave me a comment, hit the subscribe button, all that and more. And yeah, with that being said, thanks for watching today's video.